3 teenage daughters. First of all, my daughters tell nobody that I'm Sailor Moon. Very, very rarely. And I'll always be like, come on, are you kidding me? What? And they're like, Mom, it just doesn't come up in conversation. You don't just sort of sit there and go, hey, did you finish your homework? By the way, did I tell you my mother was Sailor Moon? One of her friends dressed up as Sailor Moon for Halloween. And I'm putting candy in her bag going, hey, I don't know if Madeline ever told you. And the kid will be like, I have a funny story with my daughter. My oldest daughter, Madeline, was chosen as one of 20 to go to Japan. She got to see the tsunami area and all of the efforts that had been made to rebuild. And it was the opportunity of a lifetime. The Japanese government opened up their hearts to Canada and said, you know, you were so helpful when all this happened. There were so many donations and stuff. We would like to say thank you. We'd like to show you what we've done, how we've grown. So pick 20 students and, you know, pick them wisely, choose them wisely, and they will come over for 2 weeks. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. And to get ready for it, after the kids had been chosen, they put them into different groups and said, okay, we're going to teach the 20 kids that are going over as much as we can about Japan before we go over. So a little bit about the language, a little bit about the food, My daughter volunteered to do, with her group, the anime. Any kind of entertainment, Japanese entertainment. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go, babe. Let's go. Finally, my moment with this child. So she comes over to me one day right before they're about to do their presentation. She's like, Mom, okay, I've got all the stuff I need to know about anime and about this and that. And she said, I'm just wondering though, maybe for the presentation. I'm like, yes, go on, darling. She said, do you know anyone who was in Sailor Moon? Well, I know Sailor Moon. And she said, seriously, Mom? I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I'm just like, oh, Mads, I can go in. I'll go in and talk to them. Oh, Mom, they don't want to hear from you. They want to hear from somebody who's in Sailor Moon. I'm like, I'm Sailor Moon! I'm Sailor Moon! No, not good enough for this kid. So she does her presentation. I'm like, how did it go, Mads? She was like, it was good. And I said, did you talk about Sailor Moon? She said, yeah, I told, you know, we talked about it because, you know, it was a pretty big part in the Japanese. I'm like, yeah, it was. Can you tell him? Can you tell him? She goes, Mom, no, I'm not about to say that in the presentation. I'm like, oh my God, you're killing me, kid, you're killing me. So later on, we got to go to the Japanese consulate for this huge dinner to get them. They were going to be leaving for Japan in a day or two. And the teacher who was in charge of the whole thing came over to me, and he was also, you know, he's in charge of the anime club at the school, the Japanese club, everything. He just loves anything to do with Japan. So he came over and said, you know, I just have to let you know, Madeline did such a great job in her presentation. She was just so good, she's so knowledgeable, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, well, I have issues with it. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, did she happen to mention at all I was actually the voice of Sailor Moon? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, I was the voice of Sailor Moon in Sailor Moon. And he went, I said, yeah, you want me to go ahead? And he just went, no, she didn't mention that at all. And I was like, yeah, I got issues. Oh, well, when she actually did go to Japan, she's at this family's house that she was staying at, and they were saying, you know, in sort of broken English, oh, do you ever watch any anime? And she's like, oh yeah, Black Butler and this and that. She's naming off all the ones that she watches. And they said, oh, did you ever, you know, have you heard of Sailor Moon? And she's like, yeah. Oh, do you like Sailor Moon? And she's like, she finally went, actually, Sailor Moon's my mother. Came home and said, Mom, just so you know, I let your little secret out. My little secret. Oh, thank goodness, because no one knew it.